Hey brothers, how's it going? JK Amazy here. I'm the head coach at Porn Reboot Coaching Systems and the founder of Elevated Recovery. We help high performers, we help ambitious professionals, leaders, entrepreneurs, and business owners control their out of control sexual behavior, specifically with pornography and masturbation, discreetly within 90 days. Today, I just want to share a quick message on this live, which is a thought that I just had. Um, and it has to do with embracing the mystery when it comes to recovery from an out of control sexual behavior. When I reflect back on all the years that I was struggling, it came to a certain point where at the very depth, the bottom of my um relapses, when I felt absolutely horrible, the only thing that I could see ahead of me with any amount of certainty was failure. Like I was just like, I'm fucked. I'm always going to be this addict. My shame and guilt is only going to grow. I'm probably going to get addicted to other things. I'm always going to be a virgin, or the only way I'll have sex is to have sex with escorts and prostitutes. I'm never going to find somebody who cares about me. I'm always going to be broke. That was more or less what my future looked like at the lowest. Now, there were also moments, and some of you guys can relate to this, where you have these highs. They're highs that are really based on self improvement, right? You've read a great book on habits, you've read a great book on willpower, you've read some great book or got some course on mindset, or you followed some influencer. Back then, there weren't any influencers, of course. And at the height of things, I was overly optimistic. And I felt that, you know what, I can bend the universe, I can control things. I know exactly how my life is going to turn out. It is going to pan out this way. I have been, the secret has been revealed to me. And as long as I harness the power of my subconscious mind, I shall accomplish all my goals. And the future would be so certain. Now, obviously, each of those comes with crashes, right? And there are truths to both of them. However, um, neither of them led to the sort of enjoyment of life that I was seeking. And what I mean is that there is a weird pleasure that comes from being at the bottom. There is a weird pleasure that comes from throwing a pity party. Now it's even better for a lot of guys because there are now communities where guys go and it's an echo chamber of failure, right? There are now YouTube channels and forums and all these things devoted to hating on other people, to patting each other on your back in a pseudo funny way, in a sarcastic way, um, place filled with memes, but really it's backed by just a lot of pain and failure. An example would be, those natty or not forums. Some of you guys may be familiar with them or not, where you'll get all these guys together who are analyzing other men who are more or less half naked. And they're trying to find out whether these guys' physiques are natural or whether they are juicing, right? And it's a whole subculture. Or you'll have all the guys who are trying to out the latest guru that's trying to help you make more money online. And that's again another huge place. I can relate to these because early on in my reboots, I did get to a point where I wasn't a hater, but I was very much jaded and a skeptic. I stopped focusing on me and what I was capable of doing. So that's the low. That's the weird pleasure that you get from being in the know on, like, you're just like, that people cut corners, people take drugs, people lie, people scam, people do different things in order to make it to the top. And that knowledge and fueled by the pain that all of you experience makes you feel good. That's a pleasure at the bottom. At the top, it's more of a hedonic pleasure. It's more of like, I work very hard and I visualize all these things and I hit my goals, and it feels good. But that, sometimes you hit the goal, sometimes you don't at all. But that comes with its own stressors. The stressors are Sometimes there's a tiny bit of uncertainty. Sometimes you lose aspects of empathy because you're so focused on the things you want to accomplish. Sometimes when those things don't turn out the way you want to, your lows are very low. So you become a very dopamine driven high achiever, which means that everything is just like we execute on ideas, we make a lot of money, we hit all of our goals, and then we end up experiencing a crash. Or when we find ourselves in a room with other business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, high performers, and we feel intimidated, immediately we run off to engage in our compulsive behavior. Again, you're a very dopamine driven person. I found that the sweet spot over the years has been embracing the mystery. The mystery is that you don't fucking know what's going to happen. We have a very amazing, we have this thing up in here is very amazing. It's so amazing that whatever we decide to focus on will more or less become our reality. The key phrase here is our reality. It's your reality. It's not the actual reality. It's almost as if we can be crazy. And sure, you will attract those things to you. Our brain has the power to do that. Our mind has the capacity to do that. But that is not the reality. The reality is that you have no fucking control, right? You're not the dude driving the car. It doesn't matter what you think. As human beings, what we really are is we're all the little kid in the back seat of the car with the toy steering wheel. That's our little world. That's how much the things we are actually doing in our lives really matter. Whether it's ending your behavior with porn, whether it's your self improvement, all those things are just things that we are doing for the happiness that we don't even really know what it is of this flesh suits that we're in, so to speak. My point with all of this is that once in a while, take a moment to just embrace the unknown. Embrace the absolute mystery of things. Even if you're one of those high achievers that's really good at visualization, realize that things don't turn out exactly the way that you think they will. You know, I was going to gain control over my out of control sexual behavior. I did not know I would end up running the most successful porn addiction recovery company in the world. Then again, it's easy to say the most successful porn addiction recovery company in the world because there are not many. We just happen to be the best. Maybe we won't be the best when more come out. I'm kidding. We'll always be the best. There we go with that whole visualization mindset high achiever thing. But I didn't know that I would end up being here, right? That's not what I thought. I never imagined if somebody told me that in the future, what you will be doing is you will be helping other men end their out of control behavior with pornography. You'll be helping them save their marriages. You'll helping them to become the best version of a man that they could become. I'd be like, with porn addiction? And they'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, dude, you're on shrooms. You're tripping on something. Didn't imagine that. Didn't imagine that I'll be in the relationship that I was going to be in. Um, so many of these things I just didn't know they were going to pan out the way that they were going to pan out. So again, there are many more examples I can give. Even just I'm looking at I have another little all over the room. I have these little shelves with books, and the spine of every book that I'm looking at is another idea of a place that I didn't think I would be. But I ended up in all these places and doing all these things. Some of them were good, some of them were bad, some of them were straight up horrible and terrifying, but there was mystery there. So understand that at the end of all of this, just to summarize this, gentlemen, we still all have to step into the greatest mystery, and that is our deaths, right? I know that there are many people out there who like to soften the blow by reading a book and saying that they know that there's going to be something after that. They know that there's going to be a heaven, or there's going to be a hell, or there's going to be reincarnation. Again, all of that is just the human mind's projection of what lies beyond. It doesn't matter, guys. We don't have to have that certainty. right? We can embrace the mystery that life has provided for us. It's not as if the other creatures that share this planet with us and who have been on this planet much longer than we have, it's not as if they know the answers either, right? They just roll along with the mystery and they're happy. And whatever pain or sadness or whatever it is they experience, they roll with it better than we do. We spend so much time running away from it. At the end of the day, we're all going to end up in the same place. Us, the deer, the roadkill on the road, everything ends up in the same place. So, my message to you guys today, gentlemen, is go ahead and spend some time just embracing the unknown. When you feel very low, when you feel very high, but especially when you feel very low after a slip or a relapse to your compulsive behavior, just realize that I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. There might be all these neurons in my brain that are making these complex calculations to project what is going to happen in the future and how I'm going to feel. But ultimately, I don't know. Like I could try anything. I could roll this. Who knows, right? So again, and I rarely talk about the parts of this that we don't have control over because I'm very much a person who believes that there are certain things in your life you can control in order to control your out of control sexual behavior. But at the same time, I want to make it clear that even in my reboots, I was embracing the mystery. And embracing the mystery is what makes this entire thing fun. It's what makes it an actual adventure. Oh, there goes my alarm. Right, that was all the time I had for this video. So I'm gonna jump on to my next meeting. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm JK, your brother in the struggle, and I'll speak to you later.